Today's video is sponsored by AG1, but more on that later. I can't believe you took this. Honey.
But what if there was like we could find a sink to go on that and then a bucket would fit right in there?
No. Look at how rusty it is.
I love the patina of it.
Absolutely not. I don't like it. I don't. Oh my gosh.
High five.
All right, hi everyone, and welcome back to the Life in Pines garage.
Tell you cones, nuts, needles, wrenches, and screwdrivers. Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, so today we have a fun and exciting project. It's a little bit different than what we've been doing, but we're getting back to the squatty potty.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking, is it usable? Have you been using it? The answer is, it is usable, but no one's used it yet. I think it's kind of one of those weird things about first one to go in.
Yeah, the first one's gonna be weird. Eventually we will get there, but today we're actually back to work on the sink base that you guys actually voted on many episodes ago. You picked Teddy's rusty old sink base and sink to put down there for the hand washing station. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of go through things that we learned when we were refinishing the 1950s metal cabinets from the project house. If you guys remember that. Yeah. There was hardly any information on how to do that.
Nothing. Yeah.
So we were just kind of winging it.
Yeah.
So
we'll be able to kind of walk through on this cabinet, which is in a lot rougher shape than the other cabinets, but it'll give us a way to kind of show you the best way that we figure to go about refinishing metal cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So
but first, my garage is a complete and utter disaster right now. Jenna's got all of her Christmas stuff in here. I've got tools and garbage and stuff strewn about from other projects. So it's nice to be in a clean environment. So we're gonna do that before we get started. So
yeah, it's been that busy. It's mid-December and I haven't even got my Christmas stuff out yet. So we're gonna do that and get this place spick and span before we get started. So that's what we're doing today. Winter is here, but Ted and I are still living life on the go. Between the holidays, traveling, building, and keeping up with the kids, making sure we're also staying healthy and prioritizing our nutrition can be challenging. We needed a way to maximize our nutrient intake that was easy and sustainable. And that's why we've been starting our day with AG1. It's our daily dose of nutrition all in one scoop, packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, adaptogens, and whole food source nutrients. It fills the gaps where our diet may be lacking and gives us the energy to take on the day. It tastes surprisingly good, and I love mine either just on ice or in a smoothie. Our mornings definitely seem easier since starting AG1. No more juggling multiple supplements or worrying about missing essential nutrients, including vitamin D. Living up here, we get such limited sunlight during the winter months. When Ted works, he literally leaves and comes home in the dark, and I always joke that I'm solar powered. So the included bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2 is a lifesaver for keeping us motivated and out of that winter funk. So if you're ready to simplify your health routine, click on the link below to get $20 off your first subscription and let AG1 be your one-stop solution for supporting holistic whole body health. No, you said now that I'm looking at it, this thing is in really rough shape.
it is. I didn't realize.
Oh my gosh. I tried telling you.
I had rosy goggles on.
Oh my gosh.
There's a history behind this, and I'll explain it later.
Okay. Okay, so I am officially done Christmas elfing, and
my garage is clean, finally.
Yes. So before we get started on anything else, the very first thing that we did was we cleaned it, we pressure washed it to get any of like the loose chipping paint or like the rust flakes and stuff off. So
yeah, very important to get it as clean as you possibly can. If there's grease, like built up grease, you really want to use a high strength degreaser and let it sit and soak. You don't want any of that stuff sitting on there.
Yeah.
So the longer you can let it soak and clean it off, the better.
That was mistake number one we made with the kitchen cabinets at the project house, is that we just like sprayed everything down with the light degreaser, sprayed it with the hose, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So
we have a plan. Jenna feels like we bit off a little bit more than we could chew. I kind of also feel like we bit off a little bit more than we can chew. But we're just going to just start going and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for it, but if it works, then that just goes to show that anything is salvageable.
Yeah. So we're going to get started. First thing first, we're going to bring that sink down into our basement, into the sauna, where we can clean that at a later time. And then we're going to start picking away at this cabinet and kind of try to disassemble it, and we'll tell you kind of our plan. There. Kids can take a bath in there. That seems like pretty fancy stuff right there.
We're not 5 minutes into this, and already we've had to call in reinforcements.
Loosen stubborn parts.
Does it work for husbands? Because we can't even get the doors off. So
They're a little rusty. Who are you expect?
still confident about your decision to use this one? This sink base?
I paid the fifth. I am going to use this for the handles. I've used it before. The handles are pretty rusty. If it doesn't work, we can just buy new ones, but we'll throw that in the Vapor Rust, let it sit for a couple of days, and hopefully that cleans up really nice.
Okay, so totally got our butts kicked with the doors. We were originally just gonna take them off, so then it made grinding and painting the rest of the cabinet really easy. Obviously not necessary, but it was just to kind of make our lives easier. And so now we've had to change gears a little bit.
Yeah, so my original thought was I wanna leave these doors this patinaed color because I just love how it looks. So if you just took them off, they're not gonna get painted or anything. But we'll just have to tape it off and cover it.
Yeah, I wanted to paint the whole thing, but we compromised actually this time. So it makes it a little more challenging, but it should be okay.
Yeah, so let's just start grinding this puppy.
That took way longer than we thought. And as you can see, I feel like we're pretty much magnetic at this point. Like there is so much metal flying around. So thank goodness we had the respirators on, but
yeah, but we were able to finish it. I went around with the wire brush, and then Jenna basically just followed around with, we were using
80 or 120 as the final grit.
So it looks really good. Hopefully if you are finishing a cabinet, it's not in this rough a shape. But we left the doors in the drawers. I have one last step before we can bring this inside and clean it up, and that's to fix the bottom. The plumber who installed this cabin originally must not have known how to measure, and he just made a big hole in the bottom.
He Swiss cheesed the bottom of that cabinet.
So I'm going to fix that and then put a little panel in the back as well, just to help prevent mice and stuff from getting in there. And then we should be ready for paint.
We're going to set up a little studio in the basement, and yeah, we're going to get it painted hopefully tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Good. Put it right there.
Yeah, okay.
The green stuff.
I think it'd be this color, right?
Wait, we do not need that much. What?
Think you can carry a little more there?
We're doing a 2 probably.
All right, so we're back. It's the next day. It actually happens to be Finley's birthday today. So we've been kind of celebrating her this morning. We made a giant pan of cinnamon rolls, and
I typically don't eat stuff like that, so but
none of us really do, but
I had 2 of them, and I am wired for sound. Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, so we brought the cabinet downstairs into our little painting studio. This basement is unfinished, but we still have a lot of stuff down here.
Yeah.
So Teddy taped off this little room for us, which is nice. So
yeah, we were able to go to Menards last night. We got the supplies we needed. Main thing being is rust reformer.
yes.
So that is going to be the first step after we get everything taped off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I've had quite a morning. I said a little prayer and just to clear the air, and I feel so much better after just praying about it, because seriously, you guys, my morning was awful. But yeah, so we're back and turned over a new leaf, and we're good to go.
let's do it.
-3 outside. I don't know if that's enough.
Suck Air Hootis 2000?
Let's see.
You get it, and you got the, really get it in there.
So we started with the rust reformer. If you have a cabinet that has just spots of rust, this is where you'd want to spray the rust reformer. As you know, this whole entire cabinet was rusty, so we are going to err on the side of caution and we're going to paint the whole entire thing with the rust reformer. Okay, so we finished that first step. It was very hard to film because it was really...
The fumes were so bad, and we were just like, screw it. we're just gonna do this as fast as we
can, yeah.
possibly can and get the heck out of here.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do that step, if you can, if it's not -2 degrees outside and a foot of snow on the ground, try to do it outside.
Definitely do it outside. I mean, we only had the one window. We tried to ventilate it as best we could. We made it work. I mean, it went fast, but the good thing about that is, as bad as the fumes were, is that there were no pine beetles. So I was happy about that. In this week's episode of When Animals Attack. So normally you would just you would prime at this stage. You would do the rust reformer, then you would prime everything. Since we coated that entire cabinet with the rust reformer, and spoiler alert, we're painting the cabinet black, we are skipping the priming stage and just going straight to paint from here. So definitely recommend priming first, and that's what we did at the project house. We did prime everything. One thing I will say about that is light coats. Do not put it on thick.
Yeah.
So now, yes, we're gonna move on to painting. Okay, so when we painted the cabinets at the project house, we used an airless sprayer that has all kinds of built-in filters to strain the paint. Today, we are gonna be using this Wagner sprayer. And when we sealed the cabinets there, it put so many splatters and chunks on there because this doesn't have any built-in filters. So what we're gonna do is strain the paint, but we don't have a fancy schmancy technical paint strainer, so we just put a little piece of screen on here and we're just gonna dump the paint in and mix it that way. And so yeah, we'll see how that works today. I don't know if you guys can see that because it's so black, but there indeed was a huge chunk that would have totally gummed up the sprayer.
Or went.
Oh yeah. Put a big gob on there.
That's the story of our day. What's behind you?
Yeah, you broke that one. I just broke. It's just. Yeah, like you said, story of our day. Is what it is.
Okay, first coat done. That went a little quicker than the rental house.
Yeah.
Because it was only one cabinet, but it went really smoothly. Jenna put a very, very light coat on, so we'll probably do 2, maybe even 3 coats, but it's already looking, it's looking really good. What were you saying? What were you saying?
I was saying that it's gonna look so good. I did not have high hopes, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I'll admit it.
Okay, so Jenna is back into the painting studio. She's doing the second coat. The first coat looks really good. There's some light spots, so hopefully the second coat will be the last one we need. If we need to do a third coat, we'll do that as well. Nothing's really gonna change, again, from your perspective, so we'll just not bore you with that. So, doing okay in there?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Oh my gosh. I am thoroughly shocked.
Thoroughly what?
Shocked. Genuinely shocked.
I was right and you were wrong. Okay, so we had to take a little break. We had some time to let the paint dry, and we did promise the kids that we would go get a Christmas tree today.
A birthday Christmas tree.
Yeah, for Finley. And we found one this fall, but we weren't sure if it was still there or if we were even gonna be able to get to it.
Yeah.
But we are here now. We found it. It's still here, but I have to buy a permit first real quick. We're in the Superior National Forest, and you can go online and it's $5 for the permit. So I just gotta buy that first, and then we can go cut her down.
So we never have the most fullest tree, but we always have an adventure when we go get one.
It was a beautiful ride out here, but
it's cold.
-8 right now, and the tree is big. It's a little too big, I think.
Well, it'll be fine.
Okay, so the project this morning is to try to get this sink looking a lot better. I've never done this before, but we're just gonna give it everything we've got here. I've got vinegar, I've got baking soda, I've got scrub brushes, got spray, we've got magic eraser. We're gonna try to get this looking brand new. Okay, that took like maybe 20 minutes, I suppose, but it's looking really, really good. There is one spot right here that was full of water that I couldn't really get to because it has water in it, but I'm gonna show you guys that the best tool for cleaning this, it's not the baking soda, it's not the vinegar, it's not the cleaner, it's not the drill, it's this tiny little thing right here. This is our sauna, so don't worry about the walls getting wet. This is all cedar. We'll turn it on after I leave and get everything dried up. So look at how good that looks. Pumice stone for the win. All right, I'm gonna call that good enough. It looks so good. This sink is probably over 100 years old. I'm not 100% sure on what the year is, but it was dirty, it was nasty, it had rust stains, and it looks so good. This is all I have left of the pumice stone. If you have any stuff like this that needs clean, toilet bowls, that type of stuff, pumice stones work great, especially when you live on the Iron Range.
All right, so we were able to get the sink and the sink base back down here. It's been a few days, maybe like 4 days.
Yeah, I had to go back to work for a couple of days, but that gave it a perfect opportunity for the paint to dry. We were able to seal the wood that goes in there.
Teddy got the wood all like screwed and secured in place in there.
So it's critter free for the most
Hopefully,
part.
yeah. So now it's so exciting because I've been dying to get this tape off there to see what it looks like as the finished product.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's
Yeah.
it's like Christmas, like waiting to open a present.
Yeah.
So
Well, should we do it? I'm nervous. It'll be good. Oh my gosh. Wow, it looks really good. Okay.
put that down. Okay, let's step back and see what it looks like.
Wow, it looks really good.
Does it?
It was just the right amount of,
Rusty?
yeah.
All right, so Jenna is just getting the handles on the finished sink. This area is going to be kind of like a hand washing station. We do have plans for the future to have some form of like water station to be able to wash your hands, but that's obviously not going to happen because there's snow on the ground. But I wanted to do just a quick explanation of why I was so adamant that we needed to use this sink. This sink isn't just this random old sink that was rusty and we found it on Marketplace. I was actually at my Uncle Nick's, the same uncle that always gives us wood whenever we need it. And I was telling him that I had to go because I needed to go pick up the sink that Jenna wanted.
That I did find on Marketplace.
That she did find on Marketplace. And he's like, why don't you just take the sink that's from your great grandpa's house? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He took me back to his little lean-to, and this beauty was sitting back there. So this is actually out of my great grandpa's house that my brother bought the property. The house was dilapidated and they tore the whole thing down. This was in it. And luckily my uncle, he knew there was a reason why he wanted to save it. He wasn't sure why, but he just saw how cool this thing really was, and he kept it. And he actually kept it so then I could have it. Did we know that? No, but super appreciative of him to let us have this sink. It's going to work absolutely perfect for what we need it for, and I think it turned out really, really nice. So that's it. That's the story behind this nasty old rusty mouse skeleton corpse infested sink base.
Got snow underneath our feet, and I got you right here with me. We can do all the things that make it Christmas time. Drinking hot chocolate fireside, checking out all those Christmas lights, singing out every word to carols that we like. We only get this once a year, and now it's here. Feels like Christmas when we're all in one place. It feels like Christmas, these memories we made.
Babe. What is going on?
Please pick it up.
Okay, Tree is back standing up. Yay!
Joy to the world.
And we have safety precautions in place too.
This once a year, and now it's here.
Oh my god. Don't hurt yourself before we even get started today.
Oh, I knew it was gonna get. I knew that was gonna happen.
5 minutes into this. Oh my gosh.
You ready?
Don't. I don't have makeup on or anything. Get out of my face.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, you're a little.
Woo! Sorry. What?
Just.
All right, so the project this morning is. Okay, start that. Ran out of propane. And it's cold.
we were able to get the stove. What? What?
All right, so I got the tree on the stand. We have to let it sit out here for a little while just to get all the snow. I brushed all the snow off as much as I can. It is a really, really nice tree, but Mother Nature just doesn't make perfect Christmas trees, but this one's pretty close. I feel like it's just missing one area right here, and I wish you could just grow this branch right like that. I feel like that would just make the tree. So you've seen me zip tie trees together. We're gonna make this branch go inside that tree. Perfect size. All right, as you can see, the branch is in. It looks great. Now I just need to get it inside and have it not fall off while Jenna and the kids are putting decorations on it. That one's out of the old Jimmy A playbook. All right, I am back out in the garage and the tree is officially ready to be brought inside because it's finally thawed out. It's been very, very cold. It was negative 14 degrees Fahrenheit today. I had to run to town to get propane to keep this garage heated, and I also picked up some other supplies. I was able to pick up some Enchanted Forest mini lights. You can see there's 100 mini lights. I got a couple of those. I was also able to find a stainless steel workhorse strainer. That's for that sink that we cleaned. I just could not get the original to be completely clean. So this was like $10. Super good investment. And the last thing that I bought was a new chainsaw blade so I can trim this tree very easily. Unfortunately, it's the wrong size. It is made for a Husqvarna and the numbers match up, but I think somebody put the wrong size blade in here. Second time that's happened. They were also giving out free nails and a pedicure. You have to check out my foot finder to see those. So instead, I sharpened my chainsaw very, very sharply so I could trim this tree. This thing is so sharp, I could probably shave with it, but always gotta be very, very careful. Make sure that you're doing the proper steps to protect your eyes, your ears, your face, because you can definitely cause some harm with one of these. But I'm gonna get this thing fired up by doing the different steps of number 1, lifting this up. Number 2, underneath the jugular apparatus here, is number 2. I'm gonna push this make chainsaw start easier button. And on the other side, there is no stickers on this, but it is a Husqvarna. Husqvarna. So you just gotta pull this, and I have to be very careful in here because it's super slippery from all the water falling down. But I'm just gonna go start this, we'll get it cut up, and I'll be right back. Oh. I did, I broke a nail. Look at that, I broke a nail. Oh my. Look at that. This thing is sharp. Maybe I should just do this inside with the loppers. That's probably a better idea.
And don't forget to head to the description box below to grab your AG1 and start supporting your foundational needs with 1 scoop a day.